Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, dear class, we are talking about grammatical semantics. So, in video 19, week 5, in our last lecture and in our last slide, we are going to differentiate between lexical meaning and grammatical meaning. Now, these are the examples. So, statement versus questions. If you talk about a dog bark, so this is the statement. And if you talk about did a dog bark, this is a question statement. And if you talk about affirmative, and if you talk about negative, so a dog bark, this is affirmative. A dog did not bark, this is a negative. No dog bark, this is also a negative statement. And if we talk about present and past and present, so a dog bark, this is a past, and a dog barks, so this is the present. So here we can differentiate between lexical meaning and grammatical meanings, so on the basis of the functions of the grammar. So, and if we talk about singular and plural, so a dog barked, so dog is a singular, so some dogs barked, this is a plural. So the indefinite and the definite is the same case like this. So these are all the examples of statement versus questions. So affirmative versus negative, past versus present, and singular versus plural, and then the indefinite versus definite. So we can say on the basis of lexical grammar and on the basis of grammatical meaning, we can differentiate and we can explain grammatical meaning and the lexical meaning, and we can come to point uh, grammatical semantic, how the grammar play role in semantics. So then we talk about uh, uh, meaning of major uh, uh, grammatical categories. So if we talk about meaning in major grammatical categories, I mean to say major grammatical categories, and talk about the meaning. So traditionally, syntax categories are defined semantically. Nouns are defined as words referring to person, noun, place, or thing. And basically, according to the rule of grammar, verbs are doing words, and to say action word. That is, they refers to actions. So where adjectives describing words, mean to say in early structuralism linguistic, such definitions were shown to be seriously flawed. Punch mean to say refer to an action but is a noun. Seem is a verb but does not refer to an action. In John shouted, shouted describes what John did, but is not an adjective, and so on. So it was recommended that syntactical categories should be defined on syntactical criteria. For instance, nouns are inflected for number, gender, case, and take articles as modifiers to modify the verbs, are inflected for tense, are aspects and connections with semantics were held to be noun systematic. Moreover, we can say recently the question of the semantic basis of category has been raised once again. So what are the basic of categories has been raised once again. Semantic basic of categories once again raised. So here we can say that the meaning of the major grammatical categories can be defined on the basis of syntactical categories, on the basis of syntax. Mean to say syntax is the study of grammar. On the other hand, syntax is the study of sentence structure. Mean to say. Then we will talk about certain types of meaning. Mean to say are typically carried by grammatically elements. Mean to say inflections, clitics, markers associated with nouns are noun phrase. The most important of these are definites, numbers, animacy, gender, and the functional roles. So these are the basically certain types of meaning are typically carried on the basis of elements, inflections, clitics, markers, on the basis associated with the nouns and different categories. So we can say uh, that if we talk about definiteness, so in linguistics, definiteness is a semantic feature of noun phrase. Mean to say semantic features of noun phrase mean to say uh, uh, distinguishing between referent entities that are indefinable is given context. So definite noun phrase mean to say an entities which are not indefinite noun phrase. In English, for example, definite noun phrase preclude asking which one. There is considerable variation in the expressions of definiteness across language, and some languages do not express it at all. For example, in English, definiteness is usually marked by the selection of determiner, mean to say, which modify certain determiners, mean to say, such as these are called determine, a, and an, many, any, either, and some typically marker are noun phrase are indefinite. So these are all the, so definite mean to say we can define definite. So definite determines means to say which determines the thing. So and many are the examples of definite. And in grammar, if we talk about number, so number is inflectional category of nouns and noun phrase. I mean to say these are the inflectional categories of noun and noun phrase, which is not found in all languages. Semantically, number system are concerned one or another, which how many there are some atom. Number system are numbers to be confused with the numerical systems, which are linguistic devices for counting. Mean to say linguistic devices 1, 2, 43, 100. So these are called the linguistic devices for counting. Obviously, numerals are syntactically, semantically distinct from number markers. The number system in which has only be two terms mean to say singular and plural. And if we talk about number marker, number, two terms belong to singular and plural. So these are called numbers. So we can say that numbers are singular or plural, or mean to say are many kinds of numbers, cardinal numbers are many. So, and if we talk about count nouns and mass nouns, in linguistics, mass nouns are uncountable noun. A non-countable noun is noun with syntactical property that any quantity of it is treated as undifferentiated unit rather than something with discrete subsets. Non-count nouns are distinction from the count nouns. Given that different languages have different grammatical features that actually test for each nouns or mass nouns may vary between languages. In English, mass nouns are characterized by the fact that they can't be directly modified by the numerical without specifying unit. Or measurement, and they can't be combined with an indefinite articles. Thus, the mass noun water is quantified as 20 liters. So 20 is a quantifier of water, while the count noun chair is quantified as 20 chairs. So these are the basic examples of count noun and mass nouns. So we can say here we came to the point that in the basis of these examples we can differentiate between count noun and mass. So however, both mass and count nouns can be quantified in relative terms with unit specification. Specification means much, water. So many chairs, some mass nouns can be used in English in the plural, mean more than one instance of certain sort of entity. For example, many cleaning agents today are technically not soaps but detergents. In such cases, they no longer play the role of mass nouns, but syntactically they are treated as a count noun. Some nouns have both mass sense and count sense. So we can say some noun has both mass sense and count sense. So in this sense, we can say our both mass or count nouns can be quantified in a relative terms without unit specifications. But at the end, we can say that some nouns having both a mass sense and a count sense. So this is all about the count nouns and mass nouns. In our next lecture, we'll talk about many relationship of grammars with semantics. Thank you so much, class.